Hey guys, it's Dawn and I'm back with a new video on my channel. I wanted to introduce a new journal that I've been using recently and I've really been enjoying it. So I wanted to give it a try and play with it a little bit and see if it was something that I wanted to put out on my channel and something that I wanted to back because this is another YouTuber's product. So I wanted to make sure that I got a good idea of what the product is, how I like it, things I find useful, and then I can give you guys my honest opinion about it. So this is the Creativeminds Journal, and this is from Ann Lee, and I will link her channel below, and I will link this journal below as well, the Creativeminds Journal. So she created this. I'm not sure any of the details about what company she went through as far as making it. I don't know any of that. So refer to her channel if you want more details on the actual product itself. But I saw one of her videos and I saw her do, I believe it was her February setup. And if I remember, I will link that specific video below because that's kind of what got me into her channel and into this journal. So I saw her February setup video. I really enjoyed it and I thought that the journal looked interesting and a way to sort of step outside of the regular bullet journal that, you know, is very organized, step by step, thought out, perfect, no mistakes, really sort of basic. So I'm always looking for something to do a little bit more with creativity and add a little bit more creativity in it. Originally, I was an Erin Condren fan and kind of got bored of just the standard, like you buy stickers, you put the stickers in the book, you put your to-do lists and plan your week that way. It got very monotonous to me and very boring. And I felt that I wasn't being creative just buying somebody else's stickers and putting them in the Erin Condren. It was fun and very expensive, and I finally just gave up, and that's why I went to a bullet journal originally. So in my bullet journal, I was able to be creative and still can. So I really still like my bullet journal. I use a Leuchtturm and a dot grid. I really love it, and I just wanted to branch a little bit more and saw this, wanted to support Anne's channel and whatever collaboration she has going on with this, because I think it's important to support others in the planner, journaling, creative, artistic community. So without further ado, let's just get started and I'll show you. So this is what the book looks like. It has a CM for Creativeminds on the front. It says Creativeminds Journal down the spine. The feel of this it's very hard to describe. It's textured. It only comes in black as far as I know. Let me just get a little bit close up so you can see kind of the texture. So it's not a smooth dog hair. It's not a smooth notebook, but I think it looks really sleek and classy. It does have a strap to secure the book. I haven't really used it. I find that they leave indents on the front of the journals, so I was just avoiding that. It has one page keeper, bookmarker, whatever you want to keep it, or whatever you want to call it, there. So let's just open her up. Inside is just plain black, and I have yet to, I want to get some silver and some gold pens and kind of do some fun stuff in there. I just haven't yet. So here is her title page, the Creativeminds Journal by Ann Lee. And then you have a Journal Belongs To page, and then on the inside, it has just a little blurb from Anne about her goal for creating this book. The thing that I was really drawn to was no rules, no guidelines, just you and your journal, completely customizable and forgiving. It can be your to-do list, sketchbook, notebook, diary. So I I liked that it was very versatile, but it was also a little bit guiding, because also a bullet journal, obviously, that is blank is very versatile. You can do whatever you want with it. This book gives you a little bit of prompting for your creativity, which I really like. I, as a creative person, have a hard time coming up with ideas, so I like to look at others' ideas and adapt them and make them my own, which is a different kind of creativity. So there's a few quotes in here. Here's one from Albert Einstein: "Creativity is intelligence having fun." A mind map. Here's how to get the most of your journal. I'll spare you this, but basically it's explaining to not give yourself rules and just let yourself kind of go and be creative. It has a 2 years, 2018, 2019. I don't know when this will change to 2019, 2020, being that we are in 2020 right now. So check the website or reach out to Anne to see if you're interested in getting one that is going to last you a little bit longer. But this is just the kind of years at a glance. The rest of the book is not dated. So even though this only goes to 2019, this book is going to get used up because it's not dated already, predated. So you start out with some dot grid pages. So I just went ahead and started with February. That's when I started playing with this journal, was actually in the month of February. So I took Ann Lee's idea for her February setup. She did roses that were these like purpley dark roses and kind of ran with it. I did a little bit different of a setup, but I really enjoyed the colors that she used and thought the theme was really gorgeous. So shout out Anne for the inspiration. In the end of January, I had a baby. Just for a little bit of backstory, I had a baby on the 24th of January. I started this in February. This book was a gift to myself for maternity leave. So it was, here, go ahead and play with this, sit down and enjoy for all your pain and time that you have given up for yourself. Here is something for you, meaning me. So I've been working on it in February, but keep in mind, this is sort of my disclaimer, keep in mind that I've been very, very busy with my newborn and an 18-month-old. So we've joined the 2 Under 2 club and it's a little bit chaotic. So whenever I have a chance to sit down and play in this, it's frequently interrupted, and typically I am too tired to actually do a whole lot. So you'll see some unfinished stuff in February. So don't judge me. I'm very busy. All right, so moving on, you have a few more dot grid pages. And now you'll notice that there was some significant bleed through with this. Now I forgot to mention that the book comes with a watercolor palette, which is really neat. I haven't used it yet, so I can't give you my thoughts just yet, but it's a, standard sort of primary colors with a few extras added in. The top is divided into 3 sections, so you can do some mixing as a palette here. Comes with a brush. Again, I haven't used it yet. As soon as I do, I will report back on what I think of the watercolors themselves. Now, back to what I was originally going with was how the paper stands up to watercolor. So the paper is significantly thicker than something you would see in a Leuchtturm bullet journal or similar type of notebook. I don't know the exact weight of the paper, but Anne talks about it in her video as well. I don't know if she gives you the weight of the paper, but the reason that I had such bleed through here was because I didn't use watercolors for this. I used Tombow dual brush pens and then took a water pen over it and blended them together. So it not only did the paper take on the ink from the brush pens, which is water-based, but it took that on, and then it took on multiple applications of that because I used 3 or 4 different colors for these roses. Then it took the water from a water brush to blend everything together. So it did a very good job at holding up. Now, is it watercolor paper? No. But it is a sturdy paper, and like I said, the reason I got the bleed through was because of using the Tombows. So I will test out the watercolors shortly and put that up as soon as I can. So I left these blank, not knowing exactly what I was going to be doing, but there's some more dot grid pages, and I used one of these for the highlight of my day for the month of February. So I'm just putting my favorite thing about the day down. And then you get to the monthly view. Now let me show you what a blank monthly view looks like. So it's very, very streamlined. It could be basic. It could be very extravagant. There's lots of room. The boxes are a great size. There is a to-do list and a notes section. Again, it's not dated, so you can do whatever month you're on at the time. You can go ahead and put that down, which I really like because it's so versatile. So this is what my February looks like. It's very, very busy, but just because of doctor's appointments and things like that, when you have a newborn, things get a little bit crazy and you end up doing a lot more than you imagined you would do with the newborn on maternity leave. I kind of wanted to just watch TV and feed my baby, and that's it. But there's a lot more going on. So you will notice down here I did some pencil. I don't know if it's showing up on, yeah, you can see it on camera. I did not finish doing my roses down here, and I finally just gave up. I got tired of using the Tombows and wasn't thrilled at how they turned out. I mean, they look okay, but I wasn't thrilled. But again, this is something that I'm playing with. I've never done that with Tombows before and used them as watercolors, so I wanted to try it. So that's what the month looks like. So she gives you some quotes and then my interpretation of this quote and what it means to me. So it gives you a little journal writing prompt. It also gives you a sketched out drawing. Let me get to the blank month, and I'll just go through the blank month. So monthly spread, a quote, what it means to you, and then she gives you a improv artwork partial drawing and lets you kind of run with it. So here it looks like some cactuses, which if this is where April, this is where April will go. This is too perfect because I'm actually going to Arizona in April. So this is really fun. I'm excited for that. Blank page for a mind spill. Everything on my mind, some more quotes, just giving inspiration. This is totally blank, no dot grid. Then it goes into the weeks, and it breaks out each week in a half of the page. So she puts 5 weeks on here and a notes page as well, so you can make sure you're hitting it every day of the month. Goes back to dot grid. And then it gives you a prompt, what was your takeaway this month, and a full dot grid page. I'm grateful for half the page, and I will attract in my life what I am, and I am blank. So you could journal, you could doodle, you could sketch, you can watercolor, whatever suits your fancy. So then you get a couple of more dot grid pages, and then you move into your next month. So back to my doodles. I, again, just had a baby, so I used things coming out of this cup, things that were on my mind, and also got to practice some lettering. And then for my mind spill, I broke this up into must, could, should, and want to, and it was a little bit sad on some of them because I didn't even get anything on could, but just added some flags and used some colored pencils, and the colored pencils work really well on this paper. It's really smooth, so I really liked using the colored pencils on there. In my weeks, I broke them up and basically put a general to-do list or memory keeping, depending on where I was in the month, for these weeks. Then went into the last week here, time to get motivated, in my notes section, just prompting me to get motivated for the month of March, which I will be pretty much fully recovered. I'll hit 6 weeks, I think, in the second week of March, and I did have a C-section, so they typically say 6 to 8 weeks. I use this for just some notes because I didn't have a plan for my extra dot grid pages. So moving on, my plan for getting in the gym, which is where I was going with my recovery. So I have some plans for that, and I may not actually get in the gym physically, but I have an at-home workout schedule ready to go. So I just have to incorporate that into my everyday. Grateful for and what I'm going to attract in my life. Back to dot grid, and then we move into March. So I'll show you what I have for March so far. I did put February best moments over here, and then just did a list of things so far, and then started off my March cover page over here. My theme for March is sort of green leaves, flowers, leaves. It's leaning more towards spring is what I was going for. So here's what my monthly layout looks like. I used colored pencils for this time, and there is absolutely no shadowing through the page with colored pencils. I did use Tombow markers for the dates. Again, those are not shadowing or bleeding through. And just did some decorating. I haven't done my interpretation of the quote yet. I'm going to leave that. This is the Improv Artwork. What I did here was, it was these crystals that are down here on the bottom, and then I looked up the different kinds of crystals and their meanings or purposes. So I did, for example, rose quartz, which represents unconditional love, emotional healing, and compassion. So I picked the ones that were most relevant to me and what I felt I needed or wanted. So I did a crystal in the color and then corresponded the explanation of the crystal. So just something for reference and something kind of fun. I have not done my mind spill yet. I think I'm going to go in here with more colored pencils and do some doodling and things like that. I've broken out my weeks, and I did headers in black with white writing over the top. I outlined the weeks, separated the pages, and then added goals to each week. So then I can do to-do lists or goals or memory keeping, whatever comes to me at the time. So I finished that on this page. I've been spending a lot of money. So for March, I set up a no spend challenge. It's real simple, basically just the days of the month. And I will color in whether I've been successful or not on a no spend for that day. So I've set that up for myself. I've also set up a Netflix to watch page, and I picked 3 shows at recommendations off my Facebook. I've also set up a fitness tracker, so I'm being very forgiving with myself, but for March I want to start down the path of getting back into the gym, and I'm not quite there yet. I'm not approved to work out yet by my doctor, but we're getting very close. So that's all I have for the month of March so far. Then there's the takeaways, the grateful for, and what you attract. And then a few of the dot grid pages, and then moved into April. And I have not started April yet. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But overall, I really do enjoy this journal. And it is going to take me a little while to kind of figure out what really works. You'll notice that nothing really in February was the same in March, so I just have to figure out what my style is going to be in this and how I'm going to make it work best for me. Overall, I really love this journal. Again, everything will be linked down below, and I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
Ooh.